ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। So I welcome all of you for today's class, Essentials of Vedanta Sutra. Okay. Okay, Sundar Nimai Prabhu, can you switch on your video? And also, so how are you?
Fine, Prabhu.
Yeah. Maybe we didn't take yesterday class, so that's why many they took holiday for today, I think. Okay. Yeah, it's very important. We should not discontinue any one class because already it is very difficult and dry subject, and easily we'll lose the students. One day teacher is taking lenience, then anyway, it's okay. We'll continue our discussion. So, how are you, Mataji? You are not there in the last class.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam.
Yes, you are not there in the last class. Okay. The last class we were seeing the Purva Paksha. So, what Purva Paksha was saying? So, Purva Paksha's main stand was what? Purva Paksha was saying that Tatra aha na khalu tavad vedanta vakyaganaha prayoga yogyah siddhartha bodhakatvena prayojana sunyatvat sapta deepa vasudha इत्यादि वाक्यवत् प्रवृत्ति निवृत्ति रूप साध्यार्थ बोधकानि वाक्यानि प्रयोजनवत्वात् प्रयोग योग्यानि दृष्टानि. According to the Jaimini, So what is the conception of the Jaimini? So what Jaimini is saying? So we understood that the followers of the Jaimini can be Purvapakshi. So according to the followers of the Jaimini, so what is their view actually? What they believe and what kind of objection they are raising?
So they want to do some kind of a karma so that they can get better results, like going to Swarga and all those. So they are believing that only the statements of Vedas where there is some action which gives a particular results or a particular prohibition. So so they are only interested in those kind of actions, and they are saying that everything else in the Vedic text, which doesn't focus on the actions, it needs to be rejected.
Yeah, the Vedic text which doesn't focus on the action, so they are all useless. This is the opinion of the followers of the Jaimini. So what was our discussion? Our discussion is Shastra Yonitva. This is the discussion is going on. What it means, Shastra Yonitva means, so Shastras are the cause to understand Supreme Lord. Shastras are the cause to understand Supreme Lord. That means, so Shastras means Vedas. Vedas are the cause to understand Supreme Lord. So that means Vedas, that means especially Vedanta. In Vedas, Vedantas are there. That means Upanishads. Upanishads are describing about the Lord. So Lord is known through the Shastra. And Shruyamana Rupataya Tasya Upasanam Siddhyati. स्वात्मक धर्माधिष्ठानशालित्वं जगत्कर्तृत्व निर्विकारत्व च इत्यादि श्रूयमाण रूपतया तस्य उपासनं सिद्ध्यति. So that means Shastra Siddhanti, what he is saying? Shastra is describing about the Lord. Yes. So we are going through the text of the Shastra, and by that we can understand the Supreme Lord. And there is no other way. So Pratyaksha and Anumana Pramanas are not going to work. So to understand the Supreme Lord, only so Shastra is helping. That means Brahman, in the previous sutra we understood that Janmadhyasya. So that means Brahman is the cause for the creation and maintenance and destruction. There we understood that Brahman is the Ishvara only, not the Jiva. So that discussion is over. So that means Bheda is there. We understood that the Bheda between the Ishvara and the Jiva is clearly existing. So Bheda is the main subject matter of this Shastra. So that we also understood. So that's why next the main Purvapakshi, what was the raised? So then how to know about that Supreme Lord? So that was the Purvapakshi's Purvapakshi's question. So Purvapakshi was saying that, so by Tarka we can learn about the Lord, but so by Tarka we can learn the Lord and we don't need to have any other things. But we rejected that idea. So we rejected that idea and we started saying that, so to know about that Brahman, the difference between the Jiva and Paramatma, or Brahman, so is known by the Shastra only. That's a Shastra Yonitvat. This sutra is started. You all know this story. Now in that discussion, what happened? In that discussion, the main thing is why this. So Shastra, whatever in the Shastra, those lines which are describing the Lord, so those are useless. There is another problem is created by the followers of the Jaimini. So what they are saying, the Shastric statements which are just describing the Supreme Lord, they are useless. Because the followers of the Jaimini, what they say that So any Vedic sentence which is containing, which is prescribing the action, so then those sentences only meaningful or useful. All other sentences are useless. So this is the opinion of the followers of the Jaimini. So now we have to answer them. So that's why we have to start from here in our book. I will show the book also in the Moola and this. From where we have to, refutation starts from here. Pravrutti nivrutti bodhaka vakyavat. So Purvapakshi is saying that. You see, and as the information there is so refutation started from here. To this objection we reply that to this objection, what is that objection? So objection is, they are saying that, Purvapakshi is saying that in Vedas, whatever the statements in Vedanta, especially in Vedas, Vedanta is also part. So Vedanta Vakyas, they are describing about the Brahman and they are useless. Because according to the Jaimini, followers of the Jaimini, only those statements which describe or which directly prescribe the karma action, those only valid. All other statements are redundant. So this is the opinion, and that's why they are saying that all of these statements which are describing about the Brahman are useless. So now we have to refute that. Answer to this objection we reply that it is an erroneous notion to think that the Vedanta text is useless. So here you see the Moola. Sorry, Moola, where is it? Okay. In the Moola from here, Maivam. You can see in the diacritics also, no problem. Diacritics also you can see, or otherwise in the Devanagari. So ma evam means ma evam brahmitavyam. One should not be bewildered like this. It means bewildered like this means like how the followers of Jaiminis are getting bewilderment. So like that one should not get bewildered. Ma evam Gramitavyam. What is that next? Pravrutti nivrutti bodhakata virahepi parama pumartha rupa brahmastitva bodhanenaiva tasya tadvatvat nidhi sattva bodhaka vakyavat. So English is like this. So that it is an erroneous, okay, simply because it is not teach any action. So there is no direct teaching of any command or prohibition in it. Pravrutti nivrutti bodhaka bodhakata virehepi. That means these statements are not Vedanta statements, are not directly teaching the any action or prohibition. So what are the examples for the action and prohibition? Previously we have seen. So Swarga Kamo Ejeta. So it is the action, that means it is command. So if you are desiring for Swarga, you should worship you should do the yajna. So this is the command actually. And what is the prohibition? Suram na piba, na pibet. That means one should not drink the liquor. So this is the nisheda. So this all Vedanta statements which are describing about Brahman, they are not directly indicating any command or any prohibition. So that means pravrutti nivrutti bodhakata virehe means they are not prescribing directly any any action, any command, and also any prohibition. Of course, they are not directly doing, but that Parama Pumardha Rupa Brahmastitva Bodhake Naiva. What is that? Next one. In it, in as much as it teaches the existence of God, God means Brahman. So, who is the highest end of man? So, it has a utility of its own. Of course, Vedanta Vakyas, they are not teaching, they are not doing prescribing command or prohibition directly, but still they have utility. Example is given. How they have utility, what kind of utility? So example is given. Nidhi sattva bodhaka vakyavat. Any vakya, any sentence is telling about the existence of the treasure. Like example, in your house, there is, that means in the ground of your house, there are the 10 kgs of gold. There is a 10 kgs of gold in the ground of your house. This statement is not giving any command or otherwise any prohibition. So just it is describing about the existence of the nidhi, this sentence. But by hearing this sentence, what you will do? So will you just hear it and just leave it like that? No. It is inducing you to do some work or not? Yes, it is inducing. Same way, all these Vedanta Vakyas, which are describing the glories of the Brahman, so they are also cause for one to do some actions. So it is giving the knowledge about the Brahman and it is not useless. It's very important. That means Pumartha Rupa Brahma. That means Brahman is the ultimate goal of the life. And those Vedanta Vakyas are describing about the ultimate goal of the life. Pumartha means ultimate goal of the life. So then how can we say that these how can we say that these sentences are useless? How can you say so? Because they are describing about the Brahman. Brahman is nothing but what is the goal of the life. So here you see, that's it is said that Pumartha Rupa Brahmastitva Bodhanenaiva Tasya Tadvatvat. Tasya Tadvatvat. Tadvatva means Pravrutti Nivrutti Bodhakatvam is there. That means it is always, that means is inducing you to do action. Yatha Tadgruhe Nidir Asti इति आप्तवाक्यात् तत्प्राप्त्यैकलक्षणः पुमर्तः तथा अक्षय आनंद चिद्रूपं निरवध्यं सर्वहृदात्मप्रदं मदंशी ब्रह्मास्ति इति तद् सत्व प्रत्ययादेव स इति न तद्वत्व विरहः. The next line. So now we'll see. So what is English translation for this? So now you see. It has utility of its own. Like the sentence is given. There is wealth in the house. Means in your house there is wealth. As a man who thought that he was a pauper and so felt miserable, gets happiness when some trustworthy person tells him that there is a great hidden treasure in his house. Someone is very poor, he doesn't have proper money, but to him there is a aptavakya, means some very reliable resource. That means very authentic information is given to him that in your house there is wealth. Then what? Then what he will do? So he will just hear it and be happy? No, he's a poor person. So then what he will do? House, and as the attainment of that treasure then becomes the object of his life. Then what you, after hearing this sentence, in your house there is a hidden treasure, so then what will become? So to get the treasure, so he will be trying. That means getting the treasure will become his goal of the life. Yes or no? Similarly, when you hear about the Brahman, so it is becoming your goal of the life. Similarly, so here it is said, is the case with the Vedanta texts. They certainly don't teach any action, but declare the highest truth, namely that there exists a being which is supreme end of man, whose form is intelligent and inexhaustible bliss, who is perfect purity, and who is friend of all, who has sacrificed himself for humanity, who is mine and who is self of myself, whose part I am. Such a declaration cannot be useless. That means, you see, we already studied the meaning, so you can see just as a Sanskrit here. So Akshay, यथा तद्गृहे निधिरस्ति इत्याप्तवाक्यवत् वाक्यात् तत्प्राप्त्यैकलक्षणः पुमर्तः तथा. That means if you hear that, so there is a treasure in your house, then immediately so we will be trying for that. Same way, Akshaya Ananda Chidrupam Niravadyam Sarva Suhruda Atma Pradam Madamshi Brahma Asti iti tat sattva pratyayadeva saha iti na tadvatva viraha. If anyone is hearing, so that what? So is hearing that Brahman is full of bliss and it is unlimited bliss and it is not at all so diminished, and Brahman is well-wisher of everyone, and so one's self is a part and parcel of him. So like that, if anyone hear, then what? The sattva pratyaya. So like this, if you hear anyone about the existence of the Brahman by using the Vedanta statements, then what will happen? So na tadvatva viraha sa iti. So tat sattva pratyayadeva sa iti na tadvatva viraha. Then by hearing this, will he become calm? No, he will be definitely. So what? He is going to get that Brahman. He is going to get that Brahman. So example, one further is explained. पुत्रः ते जातः न अयं सर्पो रज्जुरेव इत्यादिषु Swarupa Pareshwapi Vakyeshu Harshabhaya Nivritti Rupam Phalavatvam Drishtam. So English translation. The Vedanta texts are therefore not useless, but produce certain effect in the shape of happiness and the removal of fear. Just like so, Vedanta statements are like this. A son has been born to thee. This is not a snake, but a rope. If someone is, so if we are hearing that, so you got a son. It means son born to you. So by hearing this, everyone, okay. After hearing this, he'll be just calm without any anything, so any reaction. No, he'll be happy. So of course, there is no action. So he may not be doing anything. But is there any change in his reaction? Yes, he will be feeling bliss or not. Similarly, as much as you hear about the Brahman, you will become more and more blissful. Suppose you may not be doing this some karma, but you will getting the bliss or not. Similarly, this is not a snake, but a rope. If you hear about this, that means till now you are seeing a rope and thinking that it is a snake. So then because of that, you are getting freer. Now, if you hear this Vedanta Vakyas, that means now if you hear about this Prakriti, so and Brahman, clearly. So because of this Prakriti, you have fear till now. So that now when you hear the Vedanta Vakyas, then that fear is gone. Of course, you may not do any action. But now till now you are seeing that rope as a snake and you are feeling fear, and that feeling is gone or not. It's not necessary that everywhere, every time you should do the actions and get the happiness. So that is changing. So that means your situation, just Vedanta Vakyas are also like that. Next. Kincha. Sputam asya tadvatvam paridrishyate satyam gnanam brahma yo veda nihitam guhayam sosnute sarvan kaman ityadishu. So moreover, the utility of Vedanta is clearly explained in the Vedanta texts themselves. So what is the utility of Vedanta text is explained in that same text. Thus, utility is explained there itself. Thus, we are told in one place that in the Vedanta it is said that he who knows Brahman as a true being, intelligent and infinite, as hidden in the depth of the heart, he enjoys all blessings. What is said? What is the advantage of hearing the Vedanta text? That is said here in that Vedanta text itself. What is said? Yaha Veda Nihitam Guhayam. So Yaha Veda Nihitam Guhayam. So Brahman is what? Satyam Gnanam Anantam Brahma. So Brahman is Satyam Gnanam or Anantam. So this whoever is knowing this, Yaha Veda, whoever is knowing this is Brahman in his heart. Saha Ashnute Sarvan Kaman. So then he will be getting all the kinds of the blessings, or otherwise his all desires are got fulfilled. So just by knowing, so this is happening. he may not do some actions. Just knowing about just you are hearing about the glories of the Lord. So from the any Bhagavatam, just you keep on hearing. So after that hearing, you may not do any action, but hearing itself is what it is doing. So you may not do any action. So it doesn't need that means you should go and worship the Lord. Even hearing itself is a service or not. So if you keep on hearing the Supreme Lord about the glories of the Supreme Lord, do you need anything to do? No. So that itself is what is doing, is making you blissful. Yes, it's making you blissful. Or not. Similarly, this. So that's why you cannot say that all the Vedanta statements are useless. It's clear till now?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes,
Sudarshan Prabhu, is it clear?
yes, clear.
Jaimini, followers of Jaimini say that any statement, any Vedic statement which is directly giving command or prohibition, those were only useful statements. But what we are saying, even Vedanta statements, they don't give any command or any prohibition, but they are describing about the Brahman. By just knowing those descriptions about the Brahman itself will make you blissful. Example is the statements, you got the sun. So then immediately you'll become happy or not. And this is not a snake, it is rope. So the fear is gone or not. So like this. In the society also you see like that. He is बैठ के बस दिन भर सुनते रहते हैं. Someone is just sitting and hearing about the glories of the Lord. He is not doing anything. Just keep on hearing. So will he become perfect or not? Yes. Does he need to do anything, actions? So कुछ करना है, कुछ उगाना है, कुछ something he has to produce, and after that he should offer that to the Lord, and this and that. He has to do that. Huh? All these actions are needed or not? Ramchandra, tell me.
So, this is regarding Prabhu, like which one, like you're saying?
I'm asking. What I'm asking. Someone is someone is just sitting and keep on hearing about the Brahman. That means about the glories of the Brahman. Brahman means Ishvara, Krishna, you take, what is the problem? Hearing. So, does he need to do any action or not?
No, according to this, like what we have discussed is that there's no further action needed, because this hearing about Brahman, a person will feel that there is some supreme which is there, which I have to attain. And like as we give the statement of that, like once we know that it's a rope, not a snake, and the previous statement. So this, like knowing that somebody is supreme, and then which I have to attain, that actually itself give like a happy state for us. And then after that, that itself basically going to us achieve the Brahman.
Tell me. Over. What is the conclusion?
So the Brahman, the knowledge of Brahman is not useless, Prabhu. Like it says that because like according to this statement from Taittiriya Upanishad, like they're just hearing about Brahman is not useless, because it says that he who knows the Brahman as true being, intelligent and infinite, as hidden in the depth of the heart, he enjoys all blessings. By knowing Brahman, we get all the blessings and all the happiness that we are looking for. So just by hearing and sitting and hearing about Brahman, or the Lord, by hearing their glories, pastimes, we'll get all the blessings, and that will be basically sufficient for us.
Do you need to do any action or not?
No further action needed as far as this regard is.
Yes, no further action is needed. Just Veda. So what is the word is given there in that? So yo Veda nihitam guhayam. Veda means knowing. Knowing itself is enough. Just hearing about the glories of the Lord itself is Shravanam is enough. Even if it doesn't do any action, is no problem. So that's why Vedanta statements are not prescribing any command or any prohibition directly, but still they are so meaningful. They are useful. Example is, if we got the sun, the statement itself is giving the bliss. Yes, bro. So that's why this is the greatness of the Vedanta statement. Nacha uktaritya. So further is said, nachoktaritya क्रियापरता तस्य शक्या वक्तुं प्रकरण भेदात् प्रत्युत कर्म तत्फल विगानात् श्रुतहान्यश्रुत कल्पना प्रसंगाच्च. So what someone is someone may say that, you can see the Sanskrit there, the English translation. So further is explained here, you can see. He who knows Brahman or true being. So the knowledge of Brahman is not useless. Just it leads to the enjoyment of all essence. Okay, next. Nor can it be. Nacha uktaritya means nor can it be said. Nacha uktaritya. That since the Vedanta text teach the attainment of certain fruits, therefore they teach action also. What someone is saying? Someone is saying that someone says that what? Vedanta text Vedanta text is ultimately telling about, so text teaches telling about or teaches, ultimately teaches that the Vedanta text teaches about attainment of Brahman. Attainment of Brahman. So someone says that Vedanta text teaches about the Brahman, teaches about the attainment of Brahman, and what they say, and so Vedanta text is also referring action. Is also referring action. Like that someone is saying. Ultimately, because it is telling about the attainment of the Brahman. So then you should take that it is also teaching about the action. But what is the Pura Pakshi said? And they are giving hetus also for this. So now, but what? Can you consider this opinion? No, we cannot consider. That means this is someone, what they are saying. These people are saying that Vedanta is also referring to action. Vedanta text also is telling about the action. That means they are going to establish that Vedanta text is also telling about the karma only. This is total Veda. In this Veda, if you see in a gross way, this is Karma Kanda. And this is Gnana Kanda. Gnana Kanda is also known as Vedanta. And what they are saying, this is teaching about the karma, action. Who is saying? Followers of Jaimini.
Yeah.
And they are trying to impose their idea on us also. That means about the Gnana Kanda also they are saying that Gnana Kanda is nothing about what is describing about the Brahman. And those statements are telling about the attainment of the Brahman. So ultimately, Gnana Kanda is also telling about the action. So that's why this Gnana Kanda is also telling about karma or action. So like that they say, but they want to say that whole Veda is telling about the karma only. Who is interested in this? Mimamsakas. But now we are rejecting this idea. Vedanta, that means Vedanta text. Gnana Kanda, you can say Vedanta text. Vedanta text is not just telling about karma. So we have to counteract this. The whole context of the Vedanta is against such a view. It teaches knowledge and not action. Actually, whatever they say, that means text teaches about the whatever they are saying, that means it teaches the whole context of the Vedanta is against such a view. So because here in the Sanskrit, if you see what is said, in the Sanskrit it is said that Prakarana Veda. This is different Prakarana. You cannot apply the same. This is different Prakarana and this is different Prakarana. In this Prakarana you can see. That means this text is telling about the action. But you cannot apply this to the another Prakarana. This also should tell about the action. Yes, Prabhu. Ramchandra Prabhu.
So, Prabhu, what I'm understanding is initially they try to reject the Gyan Kanda, which we defeated. Now they are saying even if Gyan Kanda is there, that also basically promoting action. So now we have to defeat that part also.
Yeah, they generally they say that means some may say like this also. That means even they want to say that Jnana Kanda is also telling about the karma only. Ultimately, they say that whole Veda, the ultimate conclusion of Veda is karma. So this kind of faith they want to build in the society so that everyone will follow karma and they will be fully established. Like you see in the political parties, they are always coming with their own agendas, and they are trying to establish their own agenda. Is only the ultimatum is the highest. Their ultimatum is the highest. That is a propagation that parties are doing. Like some communist, they say that everyone is equal and everyone should get the equally opportunity to in everything. And this BJP comes that they are all so traditionalism they follow. They say that we are Hindus and we are the prominent people in this society, in this country, so we should dominate everyone, and we are the dominators, we are the royals, we are kings, and other all minorities are just our followers. They are newly came and it's our country, and we should have the difference, and it should be announced as a Hindu country. This is the agenda. They will come up this, and they will destroy this equality. What is this equality? Everyone, and so we should not give any chance to a minorities. This minority is simply so created, and our culture is being lost because of these people. So like this, and some other will come centralist. Congress will come and say that their own opinion. So they say that socialism is important. Samajwad, socialism. Everyone should be respected. So like that. So every philosopher is having their own agenda. Someone wants to promote the karma, then he cannot live. Na? If he live without commenting this Gnana Kanda properly, and if we don't show the view that in this Gnana Kanda is also telling about the karma, then people will stuck here. Are आप तो इसके बारे में बोले नहीं. You didn't say about the Gnana Kanda anything. You simply neglected. It's not correct. So then, if he proves that Gnana Kanda is also telling about the karma, then you will get more votes. More votes for the karma. Then finish all the Vedis, all Vedics, all the followers of Vedas will be doing only karma. There is no bhakti. Finish. Bhakti and Gnana is out. So now we come. We are also devotees. We establish bhakti as highest. How we are establishing? Yes, karma is not permanent. Karma is just what? Is cause for your bondage. And karma should not be done. Karma should not be done just for the sense gratification. Even if you do the karma, just you should do that for the satisfaction of our Lord, whom I want to worship. We should worship. And by that karma will be finished. And your heart will be purified. And finally you will be liberated. This kind of teachings we destroy that means the independent existence of the karma, and we establish bhakti as highest. The agenda of the devotees. Like this, many parties are there based upon Vedic knowledge. There are many schools are open and selling the different products. They are selling different products. So now you have to defeat. This is a Vedanta. We are Vedanta school. We are belong to our Vedanta school. For us, so if anyone say that Jnana Kanda is also referring to the karma, it's a big explosion for us. We are not ready to accept that. Jnana Kanda is not telling about karma. Jnana Kanda is giving what? Jnana Kanda is giving our Upanishads are giving the knowledge. So see, the whole context of Vedanta is against such a view. It teaches knowledge, jnana, and not action. That means you just to hear the glories of the Lord in the Vedanta, that's like Isha Upanishad is telling about the glories of the Isha. You keep on hearing for the ear and again and again. So you are not doing any action. So will it make you happy or not? Happy. Not yes. But Purupakshi is saying that it is also making you happy means you should do some action. But we are saying that no need to do any action, just hearing it in itself is okay. After hearing, you don't need to do any action based upon hearing. Next, on the contrary, it decries karma or action. Actually, pratyuta karma tatphala vigana. Actually, what it is doing, this Jnana Kanda or this Upanishad or this Vedanta. So, first of all, it is not prescribing any action, but what we are saying, it is rejecting the action. On contrary, it is rejecting the results of the karma. It is rejecting one to enjoy the results of the karma. It is clearly saying that this Vedanta text, you should not work for the results of the karma. You should offer those results of the karma to the Lord. Karma tatphala vigana. That means it is discouraging. It is discouraging to not to do the karma and get that phala for sensible. Next one, Sruta Hani. Sruta Hani Asruta Phalacha. You see, Sruta Hani Asruta. Till here we shall see Karma Tat Phala Vigana. Next word, Sruta Hani Asruta Kalpana Prasangacha. If you consider that, so Vedanta text is also telling about the action, then what? It's simply like what? What you didn't hear, what you heard that you neglected, and what you didn't hear about that you are imagining. That will happen. When you consider Vedanta is telling about, so the action, not the knowledge. Actually, Vedanta is giving the knowledge. And but instead of taking that, you are taking that, instead of taking that, if you take Vedanta, that if Vedanta teaches or gives or prescribes action, then it is skalpana only. What you heard, that means you are getting the knowledge that you neglected. Vedanta gives the knowledge that you neglected, and Vedanta prescribes the karma which is not there, which is you didn't hear, and that you are imagining. That means Srutahani Asruta Kalpana. Both. जो सुना नहीं है, जो सुन चुके हैं उसको छोड़ दिए, वो नष्ट हो गया. जो सुना नहीं है उसकी कल्पना कर रहे हैं. वेदांत तो ज्ञान देती है, तो उसको छोड़ दिए आप. तो मैंने जो ज्ञान देती है करके इसको स्वीकार नहीं करेंगे तो क्या हो गया? श्रुतहानि. जो विन रहे हैं, जो सुन रहे हैं वो नष्ट हो गया. Whatever you heard, that is gone. And if you consider that Vedanta text is prescribing karma, that which is not really prescribing karma, and that you are, which is not heard, that you are imagining. So like that. Okay, next. Nacha Nikila Jagad Udayadi Karane Nitya Chid Vapushi Ananta Kalyana Guna Ratnakare Sri Srinivase Brahmani Utpannam Sastram Anya Param Shakyam Kartum. So what I said now you see in English. It is from here. Nor can we reasonably interpret that Vedanta teaches anything but the. So you should not say that, nor can we reasonably interpret that Vedanta teaches anything. When Vedanta teaches so something, Anyat Param, that means what we are saying, Anya Param Shakyam Kartum. Vedanta teaches about the other things. But Vedanta is teaching about what? So you should take like this. Nor can we reasonably interpret the Vedanta teaches anything. You should wait here. You should stop here and next. But the truth about Brahman. It teaches that God is the cause of rise and fall of infinite universes. That means Nikila Jagad Udayadi Karane. He is eternal, all intelligence. So, and that he is eternal, all intelligence, and that he is the ocean of infinite auspicious qualities, and that he is the abode of Lakshmi. Every text exhausts is probative force. Okay, the next. So now what? You should not that means it is telling about Brahman only, not about other things. This we are putting forward actually. He is not telling about the Anya Param Shakyam Kartum. Vedanta text is telling about only Brahman, not about others. Next, Pramanatvena Swa Vishayavagati Paryavasayitvat. Pramanatvena Swa Vishayavagati Paryavasayitvat. So Vedanta text is telling about only Brahman, not about others. Next it said, teaches the till here we read. Every text exhausts its prohibitive force with the teaching of its particular doctrine that it sets itself to declare. Every text exhausts its probative force with the teaching of its particular doctrine that it sets itself to declare. So actually here Hetu is given. Pramanatvena Swa Vishayavagati Paryavasayitvat Nacha Amnayasya Ityadi Nyayena Jaiminina Karma Paratvam Tasya Sartham Iti Vacham Tasya Brahmanishtatva. So that means what we are saying here, Brahmani Utpanna Sastram Anya Param Shakyam Kartum. हिंदी में बोलना है तो जो ब्रह्म के बारे में कहती है ना, तो हिंदी में अच्छे से बोल सकते हैं. जो भी ब्रह्म के बारे में बोलते हैं, मैंने भगवान समस्त जगत को सृष्टि किए हैं एंड और सभी प्रकार की समस्त जगत का सृष्टि किए हैं और सबका कारण वही है. तो ऐसा भगवान के बारे में बोलने वाला ये जो शास्त्र है, ये वेदांत शास्त्र, ये दूसरों के बारे में नहीं कहती. दिस इज नॉट टेलिंग अबाउट अदर्स. शास्त्र अन्य परम को शक्यम करते, बिकॉज व्हाट इज द रीजन? प्रमाणत्वेन स्व विषयावगति पर्यवसायित्वात्, बिकॉज it is proving Pramanatvena, it is proving about its own Vishaya. So it is proving about its own Vishaya, not about the others. So, so how to make it?
Every text exhaust is prohibited.
Every text exhausts its probative force with the teachings of its particular doctrine. That doctrine that it sets itself to declare. What is the meaning of this? Every text exhausts its probative force. What is the probative force?
To prove something, like to establish.
Every text exhausts when it finishes its probative force with the teaching of its particular doctrine. That it sets itself क्या बोल रहे हैं ये लाइन मुझे समझ में
It's trying to say that like every text use all his options to prove itself that that statement is true, like individually. That's I'm trying to understand.
मैंने इसको हिंदी में ऐसा बोलते हैं प्रभु, जो ब्रह्म के बारे में बोलने वाला टेक्स्ट है वो ब्रह्म के बारे में ही बोलती है और किसी के बारे में नहीं बोलेगा, उसको उसको उस टेक्स्ट को प्रमाण के रूप में अपना विषय को बोलना ही, अपना विषय को डिक्लेयर करना ही उसका काम है और दूसरा काम नहीं है। उसको ऐसा लेना, समझ में आया?
Yes, Prabhu, I got that.
So whatever this text is there, which is telling about the Brahman, that is a Vedanta text. So it is going to tell about the Brahman only. It is not going to tell about any other things. So what is Purvapakshi saying? So Purvapakshi is saying that Vedanta text is also indicating the karma. Then we are saying that अरे karma को क्यों बोलेगा भाई? So why it will tell about the karma? Why it will tell? Because it is describing about the Brahman, and that is it is a subject matter. So what is the subject matter of the this Vedanta text? Is Brahman. So if it is subject matter is Brahman, then it is telling about the Brahman only, na? Why it will tell about other thing? Anya param shakyam kartum nacha. No. So because this text is proof to establish its own object, that is nothing but Brahman. Okay. It's clear?
Yeah. Next line is clear, Prabhu. Like it says, thus the Vedanta has its scope and authority in matters relating to Brahman and not action.
That is the conclusion he gave. Actually.
Yeah.
In Sanskrit is not there, but yeah.
Related to the previous statement, this is what basically trying like.
He wants to say that, yeah.
The scope and authority, because as you say, like Vishya is basically scope is talking about Vishya only, and authority is to prove his own Vishya.
Pramana. This is a text is a pramana to prove the Brahman. That's the subject matter, or otherwise the object of the text is Brahman. So that's why it is fully functioning as an authority to prove the Brahman only, not the action. So nacha amnayasya ityadi nyayena. So there are the two sutras we have seen, na? Amnayasya kriyardatvad. So see here, amnayasya kriyardatvad anartakyam atadarthanam. This is Jaimini Sutra, these two sutras. Tad bhutanam kriyardatvena samamnaya yorthasya tan nimittatvad. These two sutras, what they are saying? They are saying that, especially you see, as the purport of a scripture is action, so the scriptural passages whose purports are not action are purportless. So that means any text which is not ordering command or otherwise prohibition, then those texts are useless. This statement is true where this is the rule is made by Jaimini. If you see, Jaimini is also follower of the Badarayan. He's a disciple of Badarayan. He cannot go against his guru. And Badarayan also, Jaimini also is a follower of the Badarayan, and Badarayan accepted Brahman, and definitely following as a follower of his guru. Jaimini also accepting the Brahman. So then whatever this rule made by the Jaimini, that means any text which is not directly so indicating the action, those are useless. So this kind of rule is meant for what? That means it is meant for whole Vedanta, whole Vedas, or otherwise only this section. That means Jaimini's whatever rules are made, those are applicable to only Karmakanda section, not for the Vedanta. Because Jaimini cannot do such a blind mistake, because he is also following his guru and he is also having the Nishta in Brahman. Tasya Brahmanishtatvat. Next is said. Tasya Jaimini na karma paratvam tasya samartham samarditam iti vacham tasya Brahmanishtatvat. That's why Jaimini's rules are not applicable to this section. Jnana Kanda. Next. That means Jaimini na karma parattum tasya samarditam iti vacham tasya brahmanishtatva tasmat karma prakarana kesham siddhu vakyanam swardhan tyakteva tatparatvam tena samarditam natu anyat tasmat brahma parameva taditi sputam. See the English now. Very easy now. English lines are very clear now. Finally. So thus the Vedanta has its scope and authority. Okay, listen. Nor should it be said on the authority of Jaimini that Vedants teach action only and the passages that don't teach action are redundant. So by following the Jaimini, we should not say that finally Vedas teach action only and the passages that don't teach action are redundant. Should not say like that, and therefore the Vedanta passages are redundant. Okay, next here, as a matter of fact, the two sutras of Jaimini quoted, that means Amnayasya. This is Amnayasya, these two sutras actually, 1.2.1 and 1.1.25. So these two sutras, whatever are there, these two sutras given by the Jaimini, himself was the disciple of Badarayana and must be presumed to be a devotee of the Brahman and couldn't have taught a doctrine in conflict with that of his great master. In fact, all that he has done in his school of Mimamsa is to show that certain apparently redundant passages in the midst of texts that teach the karma described in the whole chapter should be interpreted as following to karma. So that means whatever the Jaimini rules are made, that should be applied in the section of the karma, that is karma kanda. And in that karma kanda section, if any sentence is coming without any action, then you have to tie up that with the some sentence which is going to tell directly about the action. Like example, Ejeta Sarga Kamaha is there. Okay, this is the Ejeta Sarga Kamaha. This sentence is directly action. It is indicating directly action. But so Indraha, so Sargadipati. So Indra is the master of the Sarga, and he likes Purodash, and he likes the rice cake. So this much you hear in these sentences, you are not at all seeing any action. But what you should do, you should tie up these sentences with the Ejeta Sargakama. What I am saying, Indra, I am writing here. Just example, it's not from the Vedas directly, but just I am giving an example according to me, my mind. So created, and I am saying from that. So Indra is a king. Is a king of Swarga. he likes purodash, rice cake. If I say like this, and next so many statements came in between. If one who desires swarga or heaven should perform yajna. You heard this statement. This statement is having this is statement 1, statement 2, statement 3. Statement 3 is directly indicating action. Should perform means it is directly indicating action. But these two statements are not indicating the action. Then what you should do according to Jain rules? So these statements are not directly useful. These has to be to get usability of these sentences. Should tie up these two statements with the sentence which is directly indicating the action relevantly. Sentence which is directly indicating action to that sentence you should tie up. That means you should see the relevance also. So here Indra is the king of the Swarga and he likes the Purodash means, oh acha, that means in this yajna you should, if anyone desires it, Swarga should perform yajna means, oh for that Swarga who is the king? Indra. And for he what likes rice cake. That means when I do yajna, so I should offer for the Indra rice cakes. So like this. So you should connect these statements which are not directly indicating action. So to do this action, to direct this kind of things, Jaimini made sutras. Jaimini sutras is not applicable to Jnanakanda because that prakarana is different and this prakarana is different. Jnanakanda is subject matter is the Brahman and it's not other thing. So that's why karma described in the whole chapter should be interpreted as applying to karma. And that their literal meaning should be abundant in favor of people. So that's why you should not, literal meaning you should not take. Literal meaning of these two statements you should not take. But you should tie up these two statements with the statement which is having action. And then you should take it. And that's means tasmat brahma parameva taditi sputam. That's why the Vedanta text is telling about so Brahman only, not about the karma. This is the conclusion we did finally. So in the next class we are going to see the Tattu Samanvayat. Tattu Samanvayat. It's very simple sutra. You can increase the speed slowly. Increase the speed will increase now. You are all almost now in the right track. Any questions? नाम रुचि where is नाम रुचि को भी अरुचि हो गया. Okay, we'll see. Actually, I have some time in May 25th too. So 10 days daytime I am free. So I will see some possibilities there. I will check with our students. So we can take all missed classes in May 25th, from May 25th to yeah, 4 or 5 extra classes I will take. Because I should take at least the committed classes.
Sure.
Anything else? Sudarshini, my Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, you are ready for extra classes?
Yes, Prabhu, I'm ready.
So, Radharani Mataji.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
I'm free whenever you teach, Prabhu.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. So we'll meet next Saturday and Sunday.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Chakalpataru.
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्त वृंद की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, हिताय गौर